news anchor, and King Arts Complex board member, Mike Jackson.
Thank you. Colleen Marshall has never done that for me, ever, ever. Good evening and welcome to the King Arts Complex where dreams come alive. My name is Mike Jackson from NBC4. I'm extremely pleased to serve as your MC for what is truly an historic event and evening here at the King Arts Complex. On behalf of the King Arts Complex Board of Trustees, the staff, and the volunteers, we'd like to welcome you for joining us for the 29th Gallery, 29th Anniversary Gala, A Heritage of Healing. Tonight, we honor doctors and physicians who have served our community here for more than 29 years. The Gala Committee did a lot of research, a lot of hard work. They compiled a list of 101 current, retired, and posthumous physicians and dentists. And at this time, I'd like to bring to the stage the Executive Director of the King Arts Complex, Demetrius Neely.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Now, I can't resist saying this. Is there a doctor in the house? Couldn't resist it. Thank you so much for coming in this evening, and everybody is looking so lovely. We appreciate you for being here. So we tonight have a theme for our gala, and it is a heritage of healing, as you heard Mike say earlier. And this is a theme that is very near and dear to our hearts and our mission. We have been doing this work for 29 years, that is healing the community. And so it is appropriate tonight that we honor the doctors and the dentists who have been doing the same thing for 29 years. Now, we watch people transformed every day by the arts. They might be transformed by dance, visual arts, theater, music, and creative writing. It's amazing to watch people come in, especially children. They may be in a low place, but when they finish with the artistic expression, they are transformed. So tonight we celebrate physicians and dentists who are doing the same thing. They are curing our community. And of course, they're doing it at the medicinal level. So now you might say, why did we choose dentists and doctors, and why these particular dentists and doctors? Again, they've been working in our community for 29 years, much like we have been doing, and more, 29 years and more. So you heard earlier, we did a lot of research. We researched, we talked to dentists, we talked to doctors, and we tried to catch everything, but I bet we missed something, and if we did, it's not for slight. It is because your history is so rich and so robust. You might want to think about how you take this to the next level. We think we started something. As you listen tonight, you will be so impressed with what we have here in front of us tonight. These doctors are not ordinary people. They have done some extraordinary things. And we are tonight celebrate doctors and dentists who are in the upper echelon of their profession. And when I say that, I mean this. They're in the upper echelon in the world, not just in Columbus, not among black doctors, but in the world. So we celebrate tonight scientists, biologists, oncologists, ophthalmologists, dermatologists, entrepreneurs, obstetricians, gynecologists. They've done it all. And we're even celebrating a physician who delivered 14,000 babies. 14,000 babies. That's amazing. And we're also celebrating family practitioners and family dentists who have been in the trenches for over 50 years, some of them over 30 years. So you might say, okay, this is pretty cool, but what else are you celebrating? So I'll give you one example. Like tonight, we have a brain surgeon in the audience. I've never met a brain surgeon. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty amazing stuff. So we celebrate a dentist who founded the first black hospital, co-founder of the first black hospital, a dentist. Yes, amen. So somebody should applaud that. So in short, we celebrate royalty, and tonight we crown the uncrowned royalty. At this time, I'd like to bring board chair Mark Corner to the stage, who will give us words from the board. Mark?
Thank you, Demetrius. Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the King Arts Complex, we welcome you and thank you for being here with us tonight as we acknowledge and celebrate the lives and accomplishments of a group of truly outstanding past and present healers. First off, we'd like to thank the honorary co-chairs for tonight, Dr. Augustus G. Parker III and Cheryl Gibbs Parker. Please join me in thanking them. We also thank our sponsors for this evening. The presenting sponsor, Nationwide, Diamond sponsors, Honda and the L Brands Foundation, Gold sponsors, American Electric Power, Cardinal Health Foundation, G&J Pepsi Bottling Company, the Mount Carmel Foundation, the Ohio Health Foundation, the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and the Park National Bank. And a host of silver sponsors and supporters that are listed in the program and were recognized on the screen as you walked in. So please join me in thanking all of these wonderful sponsors. Next, we would like to recognize the elected officials who are in attendance this evening. So would all of the elected officials in the House please stand up and be recognized? Again, thank you very much for being here with us for this very exciting evening.
Thank you, Demetrius, and thank you, Mark. At this time, I'd like to call to the stage someone who, well, I consider him a good friend of mine. He's a friend of yours. He's been a friend of the King Arts Complex for many, many years, and he demonstrates his feelings for us each and every day when he represents us at the corner of Broad and High. Please applaud as I introduce Representative Herschel Craig.
Let us pray. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod. Felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place where our fathers sighed. The grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of the Lord abides forever. God, we acknowledge it is the day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Today, God, we assemble on this auspicious occasion to honor the memory of our extraordinary medical trailblazers and recognize the brilliance and achievement of our medical heroes and sheroes of today, kissed by the sun born of ebony hue. Thank you, God, for strengthening their resolve, fortifying and their tenacity in the face of abstract and perverse poverty and the brutality and indignities of Jim Crow bigotry and prejudice. Through it all, successfully matriculating through their academic experience with excellence, becoming highly regarded and infinitely respected leaders in their profession, ensuring an enduring, powerful legacy for future generations. God, we pray their significant contributions to science and the quality of life, but not only the emblazoned in the minds and hearts of those in this room, but markers forever etched on the chronicles of the pages of history. Through it all, Grandma said, God can do anything but fail. God can make a way out of no way. Finally, God, we pray for the leadership of Director Neely, the board staff and volunteers of this seminal organization. Order their steps, guide their deliberations. Thank you for the vision, heritage of healing. And God, when this ceremony and other activities are concluded, when we leave this place but never from your presence, please keep us ever in your love and care. Amen.
Thank you, Representative Craig. At this time, we'd like to call to the stage, representing from City Council, Jaza Page.
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. Jackson said, my name is Jiza Page, and I stand here with my colleague Shannon Hardy, and I'll give him the opportunity to speak as well. But we just want to welcome you all and thank you for the work that you have done throughout the city of Columbus. I remember as a child going to urban pediatrics and just seeing the area right there by Sunbury and Agler Road, and always knowing that because of the African American physicians and dentists who were in that area, I can grow up and be anything that I wanted to be. So again, I thank you for what you have done. I thank you for being trailblazers in the area of health and medicine, and I just ask you to continue to do the wonderful things so that young people can follow in your footsteps. So welcome, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening.
I have the challenge of following a preacher politician in the beautiful Jiza Page, but I just wanted to echo with both my state representative Herschel Craig and my council member Jiza Page said, and that's a sincere thank you. We would not be here without the work, the sacrifice of the folks, the doctors that are here in front of us. We stand on your shoulders, and we hope that we can continue to build on the legacy that you have laid here in Columbus. This is not about history, it's about memories. I was told once that history takes us off the hook. It makes it seem like somebody else did it, but the memories of the things that you all did and the work that you've done ties us to it. It makes us connected to the work. So this is for the memories of those who came before us and for the legacies that they left and to encourage others to follow in your footsteps. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the King Arts Complex for 29 years of making memories in the African American community, spilling over into the entire Columbus community. Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you, Chair Corna, for all that you do to enrich our community. God bless.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Jaza. And I was telling Dr. Parker, I looked out, I saw those white coats. My blood pressure went up immediately. I checked it, it was 160/92. And if you see Mark White later, tell him I'm okay. It's 120/68, so I'm normal again. Reuben Shears, he's not with us tonight. Reuben Shears, one of the doctors who, quite frankly, helped save my life 5 years ago. And you know, we all talk and we all realize the importance of science and its role in medicine, but there's also the personal touch that means so much. Bedside manner, whatever you want to call it. And it was a great relationship that I had at that time with Reuben, Dr. Shears. And you know, we joked around, he messes with the bass, and I used to call him Dr. Bass. And I said, I thought about being a doctor, but my grades, really didn't seem strong enough, Dr. Shears. What kind of grades did you have, Mike? I said, well, kind of below sea level. And he goes, Cardiologist? Think about this, son. What do you call someone who goes through medical school with just straight D's? And I'm like, I have no idea. He says, hopefully not your doctor. So, again, so much to be said about bedside manner. I'd like to draw your attention to the screen here in the middle of the program, a very special presentation. In fact, this is a very short clip from the WOSU documentary, Columbus Neighborhoods. Angela Pace, my good friend, helped narrate this. It's the King Lincoln District documentary, a great piece. Now, in this clip, we'll learn about the importance of African American physicians and dentists in the great community that we enjoy and call Columbus. Check it out.
Community. You wouldn't see very many African American physicians in Columbus downtown, but you would see them on Mount Vernon Avenue. In this office, a black man who had a medical license on his wall was treating my grandmother. That was sort of a powerful theme for a kid.
One of Columbus's first African American doctors helped build this neighborhood.
The building you're sitting in is the first African American, first black hospital built in Columbus, Ohio. It was built by Drs. Method and Dr. Tribbett in the early 20s. Dr. Tribbett was a dentist here in this community. Dr. Method was a surgeon. They are one of the first early graduating classes of Ohio Medical, which was Ohio State University's medical college then at the time. And Drs. Tribbett and Method built this building because they found that they weren't necessarily going to get hired on in other practices and things, and that wasn't really their interest. Their interest was to provide high quality health care and resources to their community. They called Dr. Method the Dean of Negro Physicians.
By 1930, this community had eclipsed other African American neighborhoods in Columbus. It was
an example of how this was a railroad community that was really being dominated by the Irish and African Americans and other groups that were coming in to work on the railroad. So it was clearly a segregated hospital early on, and then it will change to be a hotel at a later time.
The neighborhood would become predominantly African American, but it was never exclusively so. Many of the city's movers and shakers built fine homes on streets such as Miami Avenue.
And really, they were the people that helped shape Columbus, not only from a business perspective, but also from a social perspective. And what happened, as is so often the case in Columbus, is folks kept on moving east, right? They moved to Franklin Park, then they moved to Bexley, and then further out. And as that happened, the successful African American business people and the successful professionals ended up buying these houses. Originally, the house was built in 1890 by a man by the name of Donovan, who owned a stove factory here in Columbus. And then afterwards, John D. White ended up purchasing the home from him. John D. White was a very famous African-American doctor. He moved here from Pennsylvania. He was an obstetrician. He was very involved in delivering a lot of the babies in the area, and he lived here for 60 years.
The neighborhood's oldest church is St. Paul AME, founded in 1823. Dr. Method, the dean of the Negro Physicians, was a member. When the neighborhood found itself without a doctor, long after his hospital had closed, St. Paul's opened its own health clinic to serve the community.
Oops. There we go. Thank you for the light. Please welcome to the stage the honorary co-chair of the 29th Anniversary Gala, Dr. Augustus Parker III, Medical Director of Molina Healthcare.
Good evening. We're here this evening to celebrate the rich tradition and contributions and accomplishments of African American healthcare professionals. As has been stated, this is the 29th Anniversary Gala for the King Arts Complex, and we honor those who have contributed to the greater Columbus community for 29 years or more. Legacy might be a better term to describe their contributions. Many of our black physicians and dentists practice in our communities today. We stand on the shoulders of parents, grandparents, family, friends, and acquaintances of those that preceded us in practice. As the video clearly demonstrated, these pioneers were an integral part of the rich fabric of our community. They not only provided needed medical care to those in need, whom otherwise might not be able to afford it or might have found it unattainable due to the racial restrictions of their times. But they also provided valuable leadership in every field of human endeavor. There are nearly 40 Negro physicians who practiced medicine in Columbus, dating from 1892 into the 1930s, the early years. Here are the stories of just a few of these great pioneers that contributed now and connect us from the past to the present. As has been stated, the first African-American physician of record was James A. Tyler. One of 12 children born in Columbus, he received his MD in 1892, receiving his training at St. Francis Hospital of Starling Medical College, located at the corner of 6th Street and State Street. Old Doc Tyler, as he became known, was popular for his secret flu remedy. And when he migrated to Renville, Ohio, they elected him mayor. He later returned to Columbus in 1925 and located his office at 825 East Long Street. His legacy continued with his nephew, Dr. Waldo Tyler, establishing a drugstore at the corner of East Long Street and Hamilton Avenue, and many of you may know of Doc Tyler. As a young boy, one of George Mosby's first jobs was delivering prescriptions for old Doc Tyler. He delivered the prescriptions on his bicycle. Later, he served as a clerk for Dr. Tyler, and yes, this impressionable young man even became a physician in the community as well later. The first African-American female physician to practice in Columbus was Lottie Blake. Raised in Columbus, one of 11 children, she practiced in the 1930s and retired in 1957. Known as the Dean of Negro Physicians, Dr. William Arthur Method began practice in 1906 at 471 Parsons Avenue. In 1920, along with a Negro friend, dentist, Dr. Tribbitt, they built the Alpha Hospital at the southwest corner of East Long Street and 17th Avenue. He was married to Ada Pearl Ridgway, the daughter of Mrs. Isabel Ridgway, who later established the Isabel Ridgway Old Folks Home, whose residence is now at the corner of Hawthorne and Taylor Avenue. Dr. Arthur Calloway, he took over the office occupied by Dr. Method and practiced in 1922. But like his predecessors and other Negro physicians of their time, he was never granted hospital privileges. Like many of the physicians of their time, they volunteered free services and delivered babies to unwed mothers at the Phyllis Wheatley home on North 22nd Street. Dr. Harley Manuel. Dr. Manuel was a graduate of The Ohio State University in 1927. He practiced for many decades here in Columbus, and Dr. George Barnett currently practices at the Manuel Family Practice Clinic. Dr. John D. White, whom you saw in the film, began his family practice here in 1937. His son, John, and two of his grandsons, Mark and Matthew, also became physicians. The next generation of African-American physicians practiced in the racially turbulent times of the 1950s and 60s. These great pioneers chipped away at the racial barriers that limited their opportunities to provide care to the greater Columbus community, but they could not be denied. Not only gaining privileges at all the Columbus hospitals in the 1950s, but they were elected to many leadership positions in hospital administration by many of their majority peers. They have paved the way for equal access to health care for our community and opened the doors for the next generation of physicians to come. In 1962, unable to obtain office space at or near hospitals, 5 African-American physicians, Dr. Arthur Clark, Dr. Harold McDaniel, Dr. Richard Ruffin, Dr. Walter Thomas, and Dr. Jaime Smith-Incas, they became the first and established the first multi-specialty group office building on the corner of Franklin, known as the Franklin Park Medical Center, located at the corner of East Long Street and Moneypenny. It is now being considered for preservation by the Ohio Historic Site Preservation Board. These physician awards and accomplishments are too numerous to mention, as you've heard. They were truly giants in our community, and certainly these great men and women inspired me and many others here tonight to choose a career in medicine. You see, many of us that are here tonight and that you'll see on stage grew up not too far from this very building. At this time, I'd like to recognize our future physicians that are here with us, and I would ask if we have any medical students in the house, if they would please stand. Don't be shy. Come on, stand up. I know you're here. Medical students. If we have any medical students in the house, please stand and let's acknowledge them this evening. Also, I'd like to say that certainly we have many physicians that have practiced for many years in Columbus and currently practice. And for those that are in the audience that haven't been here quite as long as 29 years or more, would you please stand at this time also and be recognized? So if we have any other physicians in the audience, would you please stand? The impact and connection that our physicians and our African-American physicians have with their patients can't be underestimated. At this time, we'd like to direct your attention to two short vignettes that demonstrate the power of these relationships.
African American doctors make a difference in our community.
I had my annual physical for my company. I'm driving, I'm coming home from work, and probably about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I get a text from Dr. Barnett, and I look at the text, and the text said, "You need to take your ass to the urologist right away or your ass is gonna die." Man, I went into super panic. So I drive down Broad Street, I turned in the middle of the street, flying down the street. My urologist's office was about a mile away. So I got to the urologist's office and actually made the appointment in person.
I had a series of those conditions, as you just mentioned, visited with 7 different surgeons and specialists, and I was at my wit's end.
What was the problem?
Well, the issue was I had, as you just said, I had severe endometriosis and fibroids and significant blood transfusions. And I was told that I would never be able to conceive. And that was my desire. I wasn't married, and at the time I was 37 years old when I got the diagnosis, and my thought was, I want to have children someday.
So what was the prognosis?
Prognosis that I had prostate cancer. My PSA went from a 1 to a 12 in less than 6 months.
One morning, I was frustrated with the process. I was praying, and I just felt led to call Dr. Gus Parker. I had been told I would not be a candidate for him given my significant issues, but I felt led to call Gus. I made the telephone call. He was so receptive. Next thing I knew, I had my surgery. It was very complicated. He was advised hysterectomy, but he preserved my womb. Have the confidence in the physician that you partner with, that he is going to help you achieve the goals for your health outcomes.
Brothers, it's important to get a prostate check. 1 out of 2 of us will experience prostate cancer in our lifetime. If you 50 years old or over, make sure that you get a prostate check.
Rodney, are you in here? Rodney, I thought I saw you earlier. Where are you, Rodney? There you are. Marianne, where are you? Marianne? Thank you. Thank you for those testimonies. The rawness and the real, Rodney. At this time, we'd like to honor posthumous physicians and dentists who paved the way for the current and future physicians and dentists who serve our community. I'd like to bring your attention to the screen once again as we honor those physicians and dentists who serve our community who are no longer with us. May we ask that any family members, those dentists or doctors who are no longer with us, please stand so we can acknowledge you. We want to give thanks to the families and their loved ones for the years of service. For more history on these and other African American physicians and dentists in the Columbus area, please see Historical Reflections, the Community and the Afro-American Pioneer Physicians of Columbus, Ohio. That's by William Kenneth Allen, MD. Wonderful read. At this time, I'd like to ask my fellow King Arts Complex board members, Olivia Johnson and Ron Ransom, to join me on stage for the presentation of the gift to our very VIP honorees. We ready? All righty. Now, without further ado, we honor the dentists and the physicians who are in attendance tonight. We ask our honorees to approach the stage as they'll be donned with a special custom-created kente stole by Master Weaver Kwame Nymph as a gift from the King Arts Complex. We ask that everyone hold their applause, if you can, until the end so we complete the process of our physicians and dentists and they can be seated. Can we please have the physicians and dentists line up right now in groups of 5? As you approach the stage for your introduction and the donning of your kente stole. Thank you. Up first, Dr. George Barnett, Jr. Dr. Barnett specializes in family medicine and geriatrics, graduating from The Ohio State University College of Medicine. Doctor is also the Family Medicine Department Chair, Medical Director of ECCO, and Director of Isabel Ridgeway Care Center. Dr. Shanice Bean. Dr. Bean is a clinical professor at The Ohio State University College of Dentistry. Dr. Bean earned her degree from the University of Kentucky. Dr. Bean is in Dubai. All right, thank you, Dr. Bean. Dr. Portia Bell. Dr. Bell opened her general practice, dentistry practice, in 1987, more than 31 years of service to the community. She graduated from the Ohio State University College of Dentistry. Dr. Harris Bowman. Dr. Bowman graduated from the Ohio State University College of Dentistry, has taught clinical dentistry at his alma mater for 39 years. Dr. George Calloway, Jr. Dr. Calloway, an ophthalmologist, has served this community for more than 36 years. A graduate from the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Dr. Calloway's procedures include laser surgeries. Dr. Quinn Capers IV. Dr. Capers is an interventional cardiologist and associate dean at his alma mater, the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Dr. Capers, also the dean of admissions at the College of Medicine. Dr. Dean also voted one of the best doctors in America. Dr. Arthur Neal Cole. Dr. Cole, certified neurosurgeon at Mount Carmel Neurosurgery. He's a brain surgeon. Dr. Cole graduated from Howard University College of Medicine. Dr. Randall Henderson. Dr. Henderson is an anesthesiologist who's been serving this community for more than 30 years. He's graduated from the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Dr. William Hicks. Dr. Hicks obtained his medical degree from the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. He's served our community for more than 35 years, specializing in oncology and hematology. He's received numerous awards, including the Top Black Physicians of Black Enterprise and the 2013 Ray Miller Crystal Stair Case Award. He's also hosted the radio program, It's All About Health. Dr. Luther Ike. Dr. Ike has served this community as a dentist for 45 years. He graduated from Howard University College of Dentistry. Dr. Arthur James. Dr. James graduated from the Ohio State University College of Medicine, board certified obstetrician, gynecologist, and pediatrician. Dr. James is the co-chair of the Ohio Collaborative for Prevent Infant Mortality. Dr. James has assisted in Ohio's improvement regarding infant survival. Dr. James Lipscomb. Dr. Lipscomb graduated from the Ohio State University and is a family practitioner. Dr. Lipscomb specializes in illness stemming from chemical dependency. Dr. Leon McDougall. Dr. McDougall graduated from the Ohio State University College of Medicine. As an associate professor of family medicine, he is the first chief diversity officer for the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. Dr. McDougall participated in the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy STEM Diversity Forum. Dr. Victor McCoy. Dr. McCoy has been practicing in this community for more than 30 years. Dr. McCoy, a graduate of the Ohio State University College of Dentistry. Dr. Gregory Morrison. Dr. Morrison received his medical degree from Duke University School of Medicine. He is board certified plastic surgeon. Dr. Morrison is with Ohio Health, the Educational Partnership and Professional Diversity for the hospital system. Dr. Charles Noble. Dr. Noble's specialty is cardiology and electrophysiology, a graduate from the Medical College of Ohio. Dr. Noble, chairman of cardiology, Grant Medical Center, chairman of electrophysiology, Fairfield Medical Center, managing partner, Capital City Cardiology, director, Close the Gap Nonprofit Board, and board member of the McConnell Heart Health Center. Dr. Kwame Osei. Dr. Osei has been practicing for more than 35 years, specialized in the area of endocrinology, diabetes, and metabolism, a graduate from the University of Ghana Medical School, also the recipient of many national and local recognition awards. Dr. Augustus Parker III. Dr. Parker serves as the state medical director of Molina Healthcare, and was the past president and founder of the Columbus Women's Healthcare Incorporated. Dr. Parker, the director of robotic surgery for Mount Carmel Health Systems, also with the Columbus Board of Health. His goal is help to reduce infant mortality. Dr. Alvin Pelt. Dr. Pelt has served this community for 29 years. His specialty is in addiction psychiatry. Dr. Pelt graduated from Wayne State University School of Medicine. His new book is entitled, Wish I Knew Before Loving You. Sounds like a partnership with Al Green. But Dr. William Reynolds. Dr. Reynolds has been serving this community for more than 32 years. He specializes in orthopedic surgery. Dr. Reynolds graduated from the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Dr. Reynolds, clinical instructor surgery of the Ohio State University and chief orthopedic surgery at St. Anthony Hospital and Park Medical Center. Dr. Herbert Rowland. Dr. Rowland practices general dentistry in Columbus. He has served our community for decades. Dr. Richard Roy. Dr. Roy has served this community for 31 years as a urologist. He obtained his medical degree from the University of Buffalo School of Medicine. Dr. James Scott III, board-certified anesthesiologist. Dr. Scott, a volunteer for many organizations on medical missions, which have taken him to such places as the Ecuador, China, East Africa, Bulgaria, and India. Dr. Scott is passionate about global health. He is a graduate of the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine. Dr. Renee Taylor. Dr. Taylor owns a private practice, specializing in general pediatrics. Dr. Taylor, a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, and has practiced in this community for 35 years. Dr. Dolores Teague. Dr. Teague, an obstetrician and gynecologist, has been in practice for several decades. A graduate of the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine. Dr. Teague, a medical ambassador with People to People in China and Russia. Dr. Olivia Thomas. Dr. Thomas graduated from Creighton University School of Medicine. Dr. Thomas oversees the Primary Care Network, which offers comprehensive health care for nearly 80,000 patients who attend one of the hospital's 14 community primary care centers. Dr. Mark Thurman. Dr. Thurman practiced medicine here in our community from 1993 to 2014. Specialty, gastroenterology, a graduate from the University of Connecticut College of Medicine. Dr. Alan Tucker. Dr. Tucker has served this community for more than 35 years as a family practitioner, a graduate of East High School, obtaining a degree in mathematics from Wilberforce University in 1964, working as a computer programmer for 10 years before going to medical school at the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Dr. Meade Van Putten Jr., a dentist, as a member of the head and neck cancer team at the James Medical Center, completed his residency at the University of Texas Medical School at San Antonio. He's not here. Okay. Dr. G. Stephen Vincent Sr. Dr. Vincent graduated from Wayne State University School of Medicine, board-certified diplomat of the American Board of Surgery, and is a general vascular surgeon. Also on the committee for drug abuse, admissions at Henry Ford Hospital, and cardiac intensive care committee. Dr. Earl Walker, Dr. Walker, a dermatologist, serving this community since 1981, a graduate of Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine. Dr. Walker practicing as an engineer prior to attending medical school. Dr. William Washington, a graduate of The Ohio State University School of Medicine. Dr. Washington's specialty, family medicine. Dr. Washington has received letters of excellence in psychiatry and family medicine. Dr. Lawrence Watkins served this community, has been serving this community for more than 32 years in the area of pediatrics, a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. His practice, Urban Pediatrics, was built literally from the ground up with the express goal of bringing excellent pediatric care to the underserved and minority community. Dr. Wilburn Weddington Sr. Dr. Weddington graduated from Howard University College of Medicine, is a professor emeritus of clinical family medicine at The Ohio State University, also the co-founder of the Columbus chapter of the National Medical Association. Dr. Weddington appointed Associate Dean in the College of Medicine at The Ohio State University, the first African American to hold that position. Dr. Weddington continues to offer his professional expertise in family medicine at the Weddington Society of Future Physicians, an association of minority pre-med students established in his honor. I told you to hold your applause, but I'm glad you did that. I was going to prime you to do that. Dr. Anthony Williams. Dr. Williams, a graduate of the Ohio State University College of Medicine. Dr. Williams practiced medicine for decades in Columbus and says he owes all of his personal and professional achievements to Jesse Williams, his father. Dr. Susan Wilson. Dr. Wilson graduated from the Ohio State University College of Dentistry. Dr. Wilson, the first black female dentist to open a private practice in Columbus and the first mother and daughter legacy to go through the Ohio State University College of Dentistry. Dr. Donald Woodson has served this community for 30 years. Dr. Woodson graduated from medical college. Dr. Woodward, Dr. Donald Woodard, graduated from medical college in Ohio, in Toledo. His practice is family and addiction medicine. Dr. Donald Woodard. Dr. Wiley Woodard. Dr. Wiley Woodard has spent 37 years practicing as an obstetrician and gynecologist. He graduated from Ohio State University College of Medicine and has his master's in food service. Dr. Woodard developed Nestea and other food products. At this time, we'd like to honor the other VIP honor physicians and doctors who are unable to be in attendance tonight, and I believe those names will be scrolling on the screen. At this time, please give an applause for the 29th Anniversary Gala VIP honorees. Please be seated, doctors. Please be seated. No, remain here on the stage. Oh, it's not over yet. How about if I can get just a show of hands? How many of you grew up here in Central Ohio? Show of hands. Okay. How many of you attended HBCU schools? West Virginia State. How many of you attended OSU Medical School? Quite a few. How many actively see patients in the hospital? Okay, good. How many of you have children who are in the medical profession? Doctors. Okay, acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. And, kind of, I don't trick question, who claims to be our oldest physician here tonight? I didn't ask you. Dr. Weddington, thank you so much. 91 years young. Okay, now a little Q&A. I'm going to call your name, and I ask that you stand up, then I'll hit you with a surprise question. Just like finals back in med school. Dr. James, please stand up. Dr. James, we have 4 hospital systems in Central Ohio. Ohio Health, Ohio State University Hospital, Mount Carmel Healthcare, Nationwide Children's Hospital. How do we make these facilities accountable to improve healthcare in our community?
I think one of the things we need to do is to make sure that we are aware of our healthcare status so that we can hold those facilities responsible for us maintaining our healthcare in our community more accountable. An example that I use statewide is that as recently as 2011, Ohio ranked as the worst state in the nation to have a black baby. Our black infant mortality rate was the worst in the country. So that it's just one of those things where we need to make sure that we're doing all we can do, but that we also hold our institutions accountable for the care that we deserve.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Parker, Chief Medical Director, Molina Healthcare. With our population becoming more diverse each and every day, how do we meet the challenge of providing culturally competent healthcare?
Well, one of the things I think we have to do is be role models for that next generation of physicians. Obviously, people are more comfortable when the patient population we serve is more reflected by the servers. One of the things we need to do is educate our providers through cultural competency training and those initiatives. And we have those opportunities to reach not only the physician providers, but their front office staff who engage patients at the front desk as well. So there are those initiatives and ongoing cultural competency training, and physicians and hospital systems are now being held accountable to provide that education.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Parker. Dr. Thomas, Dr. Olivia Thomas. Dr. Thomas, you're a pediatrician. We've already established how important it is to have physicians that reflect the patient population that we serve. How might we inspire our youth to consider careers in healthcare?
I think we have to start pretty young with this. Our youth need to see us, those of us who are still practicing. They need to see those of us who have retired. We need to be going to the schools. We need to become mentors for many of those children. I want to pay tribute to the person who was one of my mentors, Dr. Arthur Clark. When I first came to Columbus, Dr. Clark was there for the 4 of us when we started at Nationwide Children's. I knew no one when I came here, but Dr. Clark took us under his wings. We have to do the same thing for all of those children that are coming behind us, but they need to see us, so we need to have shadowing opportunities and things for them.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Hicks, please. Dr. Hicks, you specialize in cancer diagnosis and treatment. When it comes to cancer treatment, is it true that different ethnic populations respond differently to various medications compared to the majority of counterparts? Two-part question. And why is it important for African Americans to get involved in clinical trials?
Those are good questions. I'll say this, that the more we understand that cancer is a genetic disease, and the development of our understanding of the human genome has allowed us to know that. All of us in this room have different genes. When a gene becomes mutated, we can develop cancer. So we understand that each person, not just racially divided, but each person can have a different cancer, even though it may be coming from the same organ, and their response can be different. In terms of clinical trials, it's amazing. When I graduated from medical school in 1974, we had about 5 or 6 effective cancer drugs. We now have hundreds of cancer drugs. Fortunately, we are in the development stage of new drugs that are not as toxic as the chemotherapy drugs we've been using. We're giving more individualized care, dealing and manipulating our own immune systems to help us fight cancer.
Thank you, Doctor. In fact, thank you to all of our VIP honorees tonight. This time, I'd like to bring back to the stage the Executive Director of the King Arts Complex, Demetrius Neely.
Okay, well, doctors, this has been amazing. You look so beautiful. Don't they look beautiful with these robes? I am so impressed. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done for our community. And at this time, I think I'd like to ask you to return to your seats, and we will move on to the conclusion of the program. But this has been amazing, hasn't it? I wish we had more time. Thank you so much. Let's applaud them as they're going to their seats, guys, as this is so important. Oh. Okay. While they're all returning to their seats, I want to make special note for several noted people. The Dean of the Ohio State University College of Dentistry is here. Would you please stand and be recognized? I also want to recognize that one of the doctors that's being acknowledged tonight that couldn't make it is Dr. Michael Drake, who is an ophthalmologist, and of course you know the first African-American president of the Ohio State University. He was unable to make it tonight, so that's a big deal. And the other person I want to acknowledge tonight is Dr. Ross Lee, Dr. Barbara Ross Lee, who is the first African-American female head of any medical school in the United States, and she was the head of Ohio University, recently retired. Now, we have a little small portion of our program. We're moving to conclusion that we want to talk about. Cheryl, did you want me for a reason? This has been my mother for the last, 6 weeks. Oh, yes. So Cheryl reminded me, for those who passed on, their family members, for the doctors who passed on, their family members will get a kente stole delivered to you. And so we will work with you to get that address, make sure we have your address so that we can get you all one of those. So at this time, we're going to move on to the second part of our program, which is a live auction. Chris Davis, are you in the house tonight? Is Chris here? Yes. So Chris is an auctioneer. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about this. This is how it works. Chris is the best at what he does. He can do this in about 12 minutes, maybe, Chris. About 12 minutes, right? Probably can get it done in about 12 minutes. A little bit around that. We have some packages, some very wonderful experiences that we're going to be auctioning off tonight. And then we have something that we're going to, we have some scholarships for our children. What we do here at the King Arts Complex is we have a youth education program. We do a lot, but one of the most important things we do is a youth education program. It's an award-winning, for 2 years in a row, youth education program, and it is anti-gang, anti-bullying. So it's a very, very robust program in which we are doing a lot of good things with the kids in our community. So Chris is going to come up, tell you about the packages. He's going to present them quickly, and then we're going to go into scholarships for our kids. But I think the first thing we were going to do is roll the video. If the house lights can go down just a little bit and then bring it back up when Chris comes up. Thank you.
I really like the King Arts Complex camp because it inspired me to dance, and it also inspired me to come out my shell for drawing and not think that I'm not that good at drawing or a dancer. So they helped me come out my shell and dance really well. I started coming here. I didn't know if I would fit in, and they make you know that you're going to fit in, it's going to be okay. And they have nice teachers. It's a fun camp, and you can go on field trips and make some new friends. I think kids should come to this camp because they will be able to they'll be able to have fun. They can create plays if they want to. They'll be able to do movement and other stuff, and it's just really fun here. I told my friends already last year at my school that they need to come because it's a really fun camp and we all like to sing and dance. So I would really like to help children with mental challenges, and I want to help them without being aggressive, and they can be able to learn like a normal child, and I can teach them how to dance and draw and not be aggressive. Well, I have written 3, maybe 4 plays, and I am doing one this summer actually, and I want to start a spy op series. That's what I call them. I do it with my friends at school, and I really love to do it.
So in closing, what would you tell some of your friends or some of your classmates about the King Arts Complex to get them to come?
I would tell them to come because the King Arts Complex helps you learn about your ancestors and our history. The King Arts Complex, where dreams come alive.
Okay, let's give those kids a round of applause. So this is our part of healing. This is what we do to help heal our community. So what you just saw was an illustration of that.